Hello, Last of Us fans, and the inevitable announcement of a season 2 for the hit series of the HBO Last of Us adaptation has just been confirmed by both PlayStation and HBO. We are getting a season 2 of The Last of Us after a record-setting debut episode of 4.7 million live viewers across HBO cable subscribers and HBO Max subscribers, as well as a 20 million total viewership number over the course of a week, heading into episode 2, which saw a bump of 1 million viewers live with 5.7 million live viewers. That's the biggest jump for any HBO original series in its history. So huge hit is The Last of Us, and people are tuning in. People are talking about it on social media. It's a big hit, trending number one worldwide as well as in the U.S. when it premieres on Sunday nights. So huge success, especially when you consider that The Last of Us has been going up against the powerhouse that is the NFL. So this is very impressive numbers. This is very impressive viewership, and this is very impressive quality as well. Yes, there has been changes from the game, but it's not been changes that have been unnecessary. This has been changes that have been needed to be made when you're adapting it to live action, because of course when you're adapting a video game or any other form of media that's transforming to a different form of media, you have to make changes to whatever you're going into, right? And I think the changes have been made for the better, and it only begs the question now is, what are we going to see in season 2? I'm not going to spoil anything for people who haven't played the games and haven't played the second part, but the part 2, in terms of scope and scale and ambition, is much more packed, I want to say, than the first game, because the season 1 is covering the entire first game. Now for season 2 though, with everything I just told you, I don't believe that they can cover the entire events of part 2 in one season. I don't care if I don't care if every episode is going to be over 60 minutes long. In 10 episodes, it's impossible. I don't see any way that they can possibly do that and give us the same level of quality that they've done so far with season 1. I just don't believe that it's possible. So I think that what we're going to actually end up seeing is, I think that in the grand scheme of things, I think season 2 is probably going to end on a cliffhanger, which is probably the inciting incident of The Last of Us Part 2, the whole reason that story even exists. I think that's what season 2 will end on, is that exciting incident that involves Joel and that kicks off the entire second game. So I don't think that we're going to see the events of part 2 in its entirety covered in one season, being season 2. I think the most likely thing is that we're going to see it split into 2 parts with season 2 and season 3, because again, this show is, I think it's, at this point, it's proven it's a powerhouse hit. It's a juggernaut hit. It's going to be a brand new pop culture sensation by the time the first season is fully completed. And I think that as well, for another reason that I think we're not going to get the entire events of part 2 in season 2 is because you need to give Bella Ramsey, I think, some time to grow, pretty much, just to be blunt about things. She's a tremendous actress. She's killing it as Ellie right now, but she still looks like a 14-year-old girl at the moment. And in The Last of Us Part 2, there is a 4-year time jump where Ellie is now a grown adult, and there needs to be time given for Bella Ramsey's Ellie to grow in pretty much in live action as well. And a big part of part 2, there's a ton of flashbacks to when Joel and Ellie are just finishing the events of part 1, and there's a couple of years in between part 1 and part 2 where Ellie is still a teenager, and we need to see that. And I think we're gonna see that naturally with both Bella Ramsey aging in real life as well as in the show. And I think that there's a really smart opportunity here to naturally, there's not only real life reasons to split part 2 into 2 seasons, but I think it also makes sense story wise and quality wise. So those are just my predictions, but I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say and what you guys think is going to play out. Do you think part 2 is going to be adapted into one season, or do you think it's going to be split into 2 seasons like I'm sort of on the boat of believing? But let me know what you're thinking down in the comment section below. I'm very excited to cover more Last of Us on the channel. This is one of my favorite video game franchises of all time, so you can bet Millennium Movies will be here and we'll be covering the series. So yeah, up until next time, guys, this has been Millennium Movies, and I will see you all very soon.